Nidhi ma'am is coming all the way from the back, and we're not letting her go anytime soon. So now is the time for our panel discussion. Hope all of your pens and papers are ready. Please raise your notepads if you have. Who all have been taking notes? Raise your notepads. Good, I see the real learners. Okay, now it's time for our first panel discussions. And our moderator, Miss Nidhi Agarwal, is right here with us. She's the Associate Director at Hike, and she's a customer experience specialist with a strong customer first mindset and the proven track record across startups in stock broking, job portals, RMG, and B2B e commerce. Might I add, OMG. She has held impactful roles at India Bulls, Head Honkos, Junglee Games, Business, Superlative Gaming, Zupi, and Hike. Known as the dependable go-to person, she excels in training, quality, and process optimization. With a passion for data and detail, Ms. Nidhi ensures every customer interaction drives loyalty in today's competitive digital landscape. And today, they'll be discussing on the topic of connecting the dots, building a unified omni-channel experience that drives loyalty. Please welcome our moderator, Ms. Nidhi Agarwal, with a huge round of applause. This is not a huge round of applause. Yes, and keep going because our panelists are also on the way. Our first panelist is Miss Krishma Mehra, Director, Customer Experience, MilkBasket. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause. Next up, we have Miss Anjali Dutta, VP, Head of Digital Studio, CX, EX, and Brand Ops, Tech Mahindra. Next up, we have Mr. Jay Sharma, Director, Customer Experience, Junglee Games. Please welcome all of them with a huge round of applause. This is going to be a session full of golden nuggets. You better be ready with your notepads and pens.
Yes. So, I know we are all due for a tea and coffee break. So let me start with a shairi right now. That's how I normally moderate a panel. So here it goes like this. दुनिया चलेगी सदा उनके हिसाब से दुनिया चलेगी सदा उनके हिसाब से इसी वहम में उन्होंने ज़िंदगी गुजार दी दुनिया चलेगी सदा उनके हिसाब से इसी वहम में उन्होंने ज़िंदगी गुजार दी पुराने चले गए नए भी ना मिले ख़राब कस्टमर सर्विस ने ज़िंदगी बिगाड़ दी So we are discussing about omni-channel experience today. So we know in today's world of customer, the way the customers are evolving, the Gen Z, the Alpha, we all want great customer experience. We don't mind paying extra for it. And we want the experience to be the same across all channels, whether it's app, whether it's website, whether we visit the store. So my first question will be to Krishma. What does a truly unified omnichannel experience mean to you in today's customers landscape?
Nidhi, this omni-channel experience, we have been listening for quite some time.
Right.
For me, it's nothing but, a seamless and a consistent interaction across the platform. As we have been hearing since morning, right? Bringing the customer to a platform, we do a lot of things. So no matter where the customer is coming from, either it's an online app, it's a website, stores, it has to be consistent. Let's just take an example. We saw an ad on Instagram. Then we landed on the website. We might have interacted with an AI bot over there. We might have interacted with an agent over there. Piqued our interest, downloaded the app, went on the app, checked few products, might even add some products, did not finish the checkout. Then go to a store, and then with the same half checked out app, we add different products and check it out, let's say on an offline store. And the interaction, the experience which we had, the navigation and everything remains consistent. So that's what truly omni-channel experience means for me. That the customer journey doesn't really break anywhere, no matter where the customer is coming from.
Great, thank you, Krishma. Jay, what does it mean to you, being in the real money gaming industry? I know it's a little different and difficult out there. So what do you have to say about it?
I'm sure out of all the people, you're somebody who relates with me a lot. So, see, I feel that, and I think the speaker before us, Shekhar, was also talking about the same thing, that this is Blinkit generation. You know, people want solutions very quickly. Customers do not have that patience level. And when you have an omni-channel solution for customers, whether a customer is coming from a social media channel, whether they are coming from a WhatsApp or they going to your app and raising a ticket for query, the beauty of it is that everything for the customer is similar. You know, Krishma also spoke about seamless experience. I think that is there. At the same time, I'm somebody who values our team a lot. So I feel for an agent also who's probably interacting with the customer, for him also he is looking at the same interface. The solution that he's providing is standard across all channels. Customer does not feel disrupted. And even when a customer, let's say, raised a complaint and then 3 days later he's here to talk about something else, he would have a centralized console to look at his previous complaints and relate. Maybe I am a customer, I raised a complaint from Facebook the last time, and now I'm coming and chatting with, through the app. But for me, I would be able to see, what were my previous interactions. So I think those kind of things really enhance customer experience. We are able to study a lot around customer's behavior, that what is his preferred mode of channel. And you can plug into a lot of that intelligence. You can plug into business KPIs like retention and customer satisfaction and other things where you would have loyal customers. Of course, I feel that there are challenges around it. You gotta be technically very intelligent to deliver such solutions, to integrate all the platforms in a way where it is actually seamless for a customer. And I think the way you manage that data at the back end and how you using it intelligently is something that is a little bit of challenge for a lot of new organizations. But if you're able to achieve it, I think the customer loyalty shoots off the roof.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jay. So when we talk about omni-channel experience, we know that there are a lot of challenges, specifically when we talk about the app and website experience and compare it with the physical touch points, especially the messaging. So Anjali, my question to you is, how do you identify and bridge these gaps in the omni-channel experience, specifically between digital and physical touch points?
No, that's a very good question. Before I answer that, I'll go back to one thing very important, right, that we all need to understand. So, first of all, what's a brand, if I may ask that question, right? It's what's a brand, right? The brand is nothing but a perception. Any legal entity got a name, but you understand that name, start connecting with that name, it gets into your subconscious and you start liking it. And that's what the brand is, which is perception. So if you have to go, you have already established a perception about who you are as a brand, what your values are, what you're delivering, what is your mission and vision statement, and that get translated through your offerings back to the end customers. You cannot go wrong, regardless of the channels that you are on, right? Be it digital, be it physical, and then we are also talking about virtual channels as well, right? Tomorrow, day after, right? And so again, now answering your question, we cannot afford to go wrong, and it's not a problem with the customers, by the way, it's a problem with the advance of technology, right, internet. We have made a lot of touch points open for the end customers to engage with us meaningfully and get some output that they actually want, and certain time we have to surprise our customers as well, right, by knowing them in and out. So I need to ensure that I have data enough from all the different touch points that I have, and I should be able to ensure that my brand, which is nothing but a perception, and it's a very deep thing, is translated consistently across all the channels that I am on, right? Most of the brands really struggle, and most of the brands really don't have same messaging, same brand identity getting translated through all the different channels. And that happens because we have a strategy missing as part of the digital transformation activity, right? And people think, okay, digital transformation means I have to quickly convert, analog kind of things into digital, and that's it. And that's where it goes wrong. So once you define a strategy about, I want to completely rearrange, reorganize the way I do my business, you will have all the departments talking to each other seamlessly, and nowhere your communication will go for a toss, right? So I think I gave you the problem and the solution as well there.
Absolutely, absolutely, Anjali. Thank you so much for this. So we know, Anjali, that right now the key elements. Basically, it's about data, it's about messaging. So, Krishma, my question to you is that what are the key elements or pillars that must come together to deliver a seamless omni-channel journey?
So a really good question, Nidhi. So if we talk about the key elements, it cannot be from one area. Key elements have to, combine together across. So just on top of my head, let me just say that the very first, the most important thing which comes as a key element would be data. So a unified, centralized data portal. Customer is interacting with us across channels. Customer is interacting and providing us, what's the preference, what's the behavior. So that data has to flow from across channel. Now, what's the timeline for the data? The real-time data. Let's say the customer is currently exploring something, and within a minute, customer comes to my customer support asking that, what should I do? My customer support need to have that visibility. So the second most important part which comes is, connected customer support. As Jay also mentioned that my customer support needs to see each and everything what customer is looking for. Then the preferences, the wish list, the order history, the transactions, everything. So that data translate into the visibility for my customer support agent. So if a customer is asking for one particular thing, my agent won't be saying, what, this is not my department, let me just transfer you to the other one. This is not how it will go as it used to happen in the past. Now my agent can see everything, right? So that's the second key element, the connected customer support. The third one, which becomes really important, is consistent brand tonality, brand language, brand navigation experience. So it doesn't matter you're looking, some things on your smartwatch or you are looking something on the app. The navigation experience, the UX might be different, but the experience should be same so that the recall can happen. You know what, I have interacted and it's ease. So that I am interacting in here and I can, complete my purchase on that as well. So that seamless and the brand design, that consistent brand design, that also becomes very important. Another one which becomes important is analytics. So across channels, my customer is telling us everything. Customer is searching for something, switching to something else. Now, let's say I am not really looking for diapers, but after 1 year I am. Okay, and that now diapers, now baby clothes, and now I know that my family might be increasing. So now that data which we have, now analytics, and start providing that options to that customer. So it not just improves my customer's life, it also improves us to make a better sale to that customer. And on top of it, what is important is the organizational alignment. As I said, it cannot go through one piece. The tech, marketing, operations, customer support, everything, the strategy, everything, they have to come together to make a strategy. It's not, the KPIs might be different, but what has to come together is what's that customer journey, a unified customer journey in which the customer experience doesn't break. That has to come together, and these are the key elements, I think, which is really important for this.
So this is very interesting. So I want to just add 2-3 points in here, right? So we all talk about data, right? But it's very, very important that we do understand what type, shape, and form of data it is, right? We are in a world where every one of us, right, are leaving impressions, right, wherever we go, right? And hence there's a lot of junk data getting accumulated. We need to ensure that we have a proper categorization, classification of data, and a very good analytics of the same as well. Otherwise, it's of no use, right? I'll tell you one more problem that we all have. We have data analyst people, we have data scientists, and so forth. But those people are sometimes, they are programmers, they are coders, they are technical people. What do you really need? You need people with business mindset, right? That's a very important layer that need to be injected as part of some strategy definition. Otherwise, what will happen? You have data, you have analyzed it, you can't action because you're not able to understand how humans behave and how I need to rightly use that data to get the outcome that I want, right? So I thought I should add these points as well.
No, that's great. That's great, Anjali. And you've highlighted a very good point over here, Krishma. So, Jay, my next question to you will be, uh, can you share? I know you've already shared some examples, but still, if you could detail it out on how do you think you can align multiple channels, or to improve customer service.
Yeah, taking, like you said, taking a cue from what I spoke earlier, um, I feel that if I personally talk about Junglee games, we have different modes of communication for a customer. And real money gaming is so insane because there's money involved.
Yes.
A player who's losing money will not stop interacting with customer experience till the time he's not satisfied. And the player might, so for example, I'm just going to give you a real time example. A customer comes in, the easiest way for him, he's already on the app, he would come chat with an agent, he would get a resolution. Most of the customers probably would start complaining around how he's such a good player but he still lost money. That's one of the big problems. And then the same customer, he would get an X resolution, because ultimately what he wants is, I lost, give me my money back, which is not going to happen. And this customer would probably also come on social media, start talking, create a lot of noise there. And this is where integration for us becomes very, very critical, because we want to observe all our players. And Anjali was mentioning, that how important it is an IT guy or a coder or somebody who's helping us do integration, or somebody who's, working on machine learning models, will be able to help us with certain data points. But how to tie that together to define who my customer actually is, and again, taking a cue from what Anjali said, the digital footprints that he's leaving, how are we intelligently consuming them to create a customer profile and utilize that to our advantage is something that is very, very important. There are a lot of benefits that you would be able to gain as an organization if you're able to truly achieve that omni-channel. A lot of people talk about omni-channel experience, but I don't think it is actually happening like it should
Absolutely,
happen.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, and then, when you have that omni-channel and when you have that intelligence, you can plug it into any of your KPIs, be it your average handling time, your first response time. And we noticed this before we did achieve this project in Junglee Games. I think our response time on our social media channels were much higher. To track users, somebody who's put something on Twitter, tagged Junglee Games, you won't believe this. I keep on getting a lot of messages on my social media. And a real time example of that is Gain Skills shared this post about me being a part of this event. And there's a player who's commented on that, hey, I lost 1 lakh rupees. Go and check it on LinkedIn. That's how insane it is.
Yes.
So for us, it becomes very important to quickly understand, what's happening. There's a special social media crisis team, and that is also part of customer experience. Again, a part of Omnichannel.
Yes.
And trust me, we have been able to improve our KPIs. Agents have been able to. So, for example, you give an first response time target to a agent that, hey, you need to respond to a high value customer within uh, 10 minutes. It is important for him to know he's a high value customer. How you're intelligently using that information, the agent would also feel more motivated. And again, I told you earlier, I'm about team. So I would always think that till the time I have not given all the weapons to my team, they will not be able to utilize that information and give accurate solutions. And then how you utilize it later on to turn it into customer satisfaction scores or your NPS or your app store ratings, that is up to you. That is up to your business objective. But I personally feel that if you're truly able to achieve that omni-channel and absorb all that information intelligently, have those machine learning models throw out intelligent solutions which are easily accessible to your team, I think it is a game changer. And further to this, we've been able to turn it into revenue. So what we've also done is when we are consuming all this information, we would know what are the preferred modes of channel, how much. So for example, there's a customer, they would have a timeline attached to their interaction with us, that okay, first 2 times he came to us through an app, then he started putting on social media, and then he preferred talking to us on a WhatsApp channel. We would intelligently utilize that information and put it in a tool like a Clever Tap, where we creating user journeys, and we are able to retain users better. Our retention percentages have spiked. And again, loyalty, a customer loyalty is also really, really enhanced.
Absolutely.
Just sorry,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a very
please,
interesting thing.
please.
Then I think we'll keep it more conversational because I think all of us are users at the end of the day. We all have our own set of experiences, right? So Jay, very interesting thing that you talked about, right? And that triggered me to say something. So we talk about omnichannel, as we all know that we all know about what it is, but we don't have it in reality, right? We are still far ahead from getting it
Absolutely.
done. Having said that, there's another concept of personalization and hyper personalization, and it's a very sensitive matter as well there, because when you talk about knowing your customer and creating that persona of that customer, you end up capsuling everything into that predefined keywords. And then what happens, you are not able to surprise your customer with something different, right? And everything becomes very programmatic. I'll tell you my own personal example, as we all are users at the end of the day, right? I'm more of a LinkedIn person, less of an Instagram. I do go to Instagram, right? But once what happened, I actually ended up checking something about health. And since then, I don't get anything outside health. What does that mean? With one interaction, one behavior that I have done, you capsuled me and you are only giving me that information. So there are higher probability you don't know me as a customer, you don't know my taste, you are not able to connect different channels, what I am doing there, and you are not able to get a solidified or unified view of me, right? And hence your offerings are getting very constrained and contained. So when we think of hyper personalization, personalization, and omni-channel, we need to really understand how far and how deep I know my customer, what they are doing, and how am I categorizing them appropriately? Am I bringing variance of the behavior? If I am, then I'll be much more meaningful. And that's where the channel communication breaks, because you have a half information about a customer.
Absolutely. And like Krishma said, like somebody searching for diapers, right? And then you only show them diapers for the next 2 years. That may not be relevant. So you're not evolving with the customer, which is very, very important. Also, Jay, like you put across specifically about social media listening, where a customer is coming at different channels. Especially identifying the customer from a social listening point of view becomes very difficult. Because if the customer is coming through the app directly, you know who the customer is. But when he's putting something on social media, you cannot tie his social media profile with his actual profile. So you end up asking him his details so that you can get in touch with him, and then you realize, okay, oh, he's the same customer. So I think over there, we still need a lot of work in being able to identify a customer just from the comment he's putting on the Play Store or the iTunes, or even the Facebook pages.
Exactly what I was about to say. There are times when there will be a deadlock for a user. You can't do things beyond a certain point, and you spoke the word, especially on App Store or a Play Store, when somebody writes, you don't know who that customer is. But what we can do is, of course, maybe address the customer, have that seamless experience for an agent at least, so that he's able to address that quickly, and maybe try and gather that information and find out who that person is. A lot of users might not come back and tell you who they are, and that's where the deadlock is.
Absolutely. 80% don't get back to you. They will
Yeah.
just add a comment, but they'll not respond even if you are, responding even if you're doing it instantly.
Yeah,
they won't
even
come
I
back.
won't, as a customer. So, yeah, I understand that. But then you gotta do, as a customer experience leader, you gotta do the best you can do in your capacity to ensure that you're giving an opportunity for to the customer to get his issue resolved. And again, we have categorized customers into 9 different categories. So there would be customers who just don't want to get their issue resolved. They just want to create noise around this, and say stuff on social media. You gotta handle them differently.
Absolutely, and I think it's very, very common in real money gaming industry specifically, because in e-commerce, or we can still satisfy him by giving a refund or a product, but it's not possible in RMG. So Anjali, what technologies or platforms are you using at Tech Mahindra, or what do you think are the best channels to give an omni-channel experience to customers? One, we know is Salesforce. Obviously, we've had a presentation already. So, what other technologies or platforms have been game changers in this field?
So I definitely don't want to speak. There are many, many, many tools, right?
Yeah.
Yes, obviously Salesforce is one that we extensively use as well,
Right.
and there are others as well, right? When you talk about CRM tools and so forth, there are many of them that we engage with. But again, I want to really say this: it's not about tool, right? As we speak, there's another tool taking birth, right? They will continue to
Absolutely,
keep
yes.
coming in.
Yeah.
What really is the problem is the lack of strategy, right? So what we are ensuring as an organization, and again, as I speak about this topic a lot as well, we ensure that we have right set of people involved when we have to get a omni-channel experience, right? You need to have business analysts, you need to have researchers, you need to have UX people, you need to have marketers, technology people, and everybody together to strategize what is required. Most of the time you have business doing something, marketing has a different goal, CTO has a different goal, and you have a broken relationship with the customer. So we ensure
Right.
that we bring all of them together to have that idea come to life.
Absolutely, like it said that, if it's customer experience, it has to be the KPI of all departments. If it isn't, then somewhere something would absolutely lag in the customer journey.
See, Karishma, I'll say one more small thing if I have not mistaken yet. Uh, I still believe a lot of us don't even understand what customer experience is all about.
You're right. Like I think they feel that customer experience is same, is just about responding to their
Correct.
emails and calls. That's it.
Correct. So I'll tell you, I'll give you a real life example as well, right? I think most of you people would know that Citibank is of India, right?
Yeah.
So it actually got transferred to Axis. So I've been a Citibank user for many, many, many years, right? And I always had that kind of belief that Citi is the world best, right? And then American Express as well. Now, when the city got moved to Axis Bank, there was a little bit of a hiccup for a few days, but that hiccup got over, and they have ensured they created a hotline number, which is for old city users. And the moment I call them, immediately my call is taken by an agent, and the agent knows about me end to end, right? And I get resolution done to my problems very, very quickly, and that's transformation, right? That you
Absolutely.
are able to connect that data and also train the agents, because if you don't train the agents appropriately, you won't be able to have a happy customer.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Krishma, what role does customer data play in stitching together these channels?
Um, uh, that's really a very good question, Nidhi. Now, customer data, as I previously said as well, that the key element, the very first one which I talked about was
Right.
data, a centralized data platform for us. So let's talk about the customer journey, okay? What usually happens, and even in our keynote we heard, a cumbersome customer journey, how difficult that is to bring the customer on the platform, and an easy one. First of all, what you do, the best customer journey which we have seen is we download something, and the first thing somebody asks is phone number, and we enter, right? That's the easiest one. And then some of that includes other things, emails, names, and all. Is it really necessary? So the very first thing which data helps is recognize the customer, right?
Absolutely.
Who is entering? So that's the first pillar, recognize. Wherever we are entering, it doesn't matter, it's a website or app or social media as we talked about, wherever it is, how do we recognize that customer? And the data plays an important role in there. Now the customer has already entered. Now what do we talk about? Now we need to remember that customer. How many times the customer has come, what the customer has explored, right? And as Anjali was talking about, that's segmenting the customer. But how you are segmenting the customer? Is it like as Anjali explored the health, right? Is it just the health the customer is going to be interested in? Or is it something else as well, which other customers might be exploring along with health? So that's what, remember that customer, but while remembering that, what the extra nuances which you can add using the data, right? So that's the second important part is remember. And now the third important part is respond. How do we respond? And what other parts do we respond in? Response can be on the app, right? Customers searching for something, what you are showing over there, right? Is it exactly that? Or do you really think that the customer might be looking for this, but might not be knowing that we have it, right? Responding on the app. The second part is respond. As the customer coming to the customer support, right? What customer is asking, and how do we respond to the customer while understanding every nuance of the customer, right? The right approach, the knowledgeable approach. So I think these three pillars, which is recognize, remember, respond, that's help in creating this unified experience, and data plays a really, really big, important role in that.
Thank you so much, Krishma. Anjali, I think you've already spoken about it, but still, what are the biggest challenges for a true channel integration?
Yeah, I think I've spoken enough, and then strategy person will give me a lot of goodies here, whereas technology guy is going to kill me. Yeah, but again, those are one, as we talk about lack of strategy, and siloed functioning is the biggest challenge a lot of organizations have. Second, I also talked about we really do not understand what true customer experience is all about, because experience is experience, right? It is not technology, it is not creative. Most of the time,
Absolutely.
yeah, most of the time we feel like, experience is all technology, and you start putting, hey, I have 25 tools, platforms, and so forth. Yeah, everybody has it, right? But do you really understand what excites your people? What makes them connect? Now, let me just lighten it a bit, right? How many of us are Maggie lovers, by the way? Raise your hand. I am one. Are Maggie lovers? Okay, fine. So there was a time when Maggie was taken off shelf, right? And did we really got panicked? Oh my God, what has happened? How do I going to really hunt it? I'll tell you, I was in London at that point in time, and this happened, and I was going really mental because I really, when you don't have it, you start craving for it like anything. And we were just trying to find it out. Hey, where I can get it? So what is unique about this entire thing? Is this a technology? Are we talking about technology? Creating an experience?
It's the brand.
It's the brand. It's a perception. It's a love for brand. It's a taste. It's the feeling of losing something that really captivated people, and they wanted to bring it back, right? And people did not want to believe there is a problem with Maggie. They said, okay, this is wrong thing. Maggie can never be wrong. Excuse me. But there were facts and so forth. And Maggie then came back and, claimed, what steps they have taken, and this was all wrong and so forth, right? Again, not counting the age of people here and also my age as well, right? So there was time when we had this Dhara ka ad aaya tha, yaad hai kisi ko?
Absolutely.
ये बच्चा कहाँ जा रहा है?
धारा,
धारा, शुद्ध धारा. वो छोटा बच्चा used to go, कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैं घर छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ. क्यों जा रहे हो? So you attracted that kid, and the kid comes back and he eats something. Jalebi, right? It's so Indian. It connects with the consumers, right? Yes, we used a traditional method of communicating those sentiments, but those sentiments remains forever. Connected brand with individuals, created a presence in your subconscious mind, and then you ended up buying. So what I'm trying to say, as the world has evolved, there are many methods, many mediums of talking to the end customers. The core essence of who you are cannot go wrong, right? That's when you need to communicate across channels.
No, absolutely. When you're talking about these ads, obviously, the ads like Nirma, Dairy Milk, they, they lay a foundation. They put an impact in our mind, and that's the recall value of that brand. And like you said, the perception.
I think you will hate me, but it's okay. We'll tackle outside, right? But you gave me a trigger. Couple of days, not days ago, I'm so sorry. During Bhaiya Dooj, right? Last year, Cadbury came up with an ad, right? And that was all about AI, right?
Yes.
That ad had a brother and a sister. A brother comes and gifts sister that Cadbury ka box, right? And it had a photo of brother sister being at a particular place. And sister says, "Hey, excuse me, how did you got this one? Nobody was there to take the photo, right?" Then said, "I got it done through AI." Beautiful. And then the ad finishes. I'll tell you, a marketer in me did not like that ad. Yeah, because, and there is another part of Anjali. She liked it because, hey, we are actually humanizing AI and telling AI, world that, hey, AI can be wisely used. Don't be scared. It's fun. It's experiment. But am I going to be remembering this ad forever? Absolutely not. Because being there, capturing that moment with your family members, enjoying that smaller things, right, is beauty in itself. How many of us have old albums that we actually go and keep digging and then start, sometimes we get waters in our eyes?
Absolutely. We all have.
Can you replace that? You can't, right? So again, that's what I wanted to say. All has to be human centric in true sense.
Absolutely. So, thank you, Anjali. But Jay, now that, I'm on my favorite topic, AI, automation, that is what we all talk about these days. Everybody wants to do an AI automation, AI agents, AR, VR technology. So what do you think? How do you see these AI automations, being a part of our omni-channel experience? Personally, I'm not, very favorable of these chatbots because it takes the emotion out of that conversation. So how do you feel that, it's going to impact the omni-channel experience we are all talking about?
I'm gonna keep it very crisp in interest of time, but all the apps that, and I'm gonna share a personal experience. I'm not gonna name any brand, but recently I wanted to stop services for a particular brand, and I've been trying that for 7 days, and I've not been able to do that. And that is because the bot is designed in such a way that at times it breaks, at times it puts me in a loop. Then finally I found out a loophole in the bot that how I could connect with the customer service team. I connected with the customer service team, and then it was a nightmare again. But what I'm trying to tell you is it took me where I understand how the bots are designed, what kind of nodes might be working, and how to crack it. I failed. So not everybody, okay, you're trying to, and we saw a very impressive presentation from Salesforce about Einstein. We're using Einstein in a lot of ways to, give us intelligent solutions. But at the same time, you need to understand when you talk about AI, augmented reality, virtual reality. Another example, I am a gamer at heart. So I play a lot of games. So I used to play this car racing game. I'm not going to name it, but and recently that game, and I used to play it like once in a week. Recently they created an augmented reality in the game, and it has become so interesting that the first thing I want to do is when I reach home, I want to play that game. Because I can walk, I can experience the city, and I can repair my own car, I can buy wheels. It is no more a racing game for me, it is an experience where I feel that I'm part of the crew, and I'm going to participate in a race. I'm going to do street race today. The way they've built characters around it, I remember that tonight I have a race with Daco, you know. So, of course, the kind of engagement that you can drive with these things is next level. So, in gaming, I feel that there is still a little scope of. I mean, it's a distant shot right now to have augmented reality and virtual reality in real money games. Otherwise, I think this is something, the kind of engagement, the kind of loyalty. We spoke a lot about brand, the brand building that you can do around it. I think personally, I would have gone ahead and spoken to 5 different people about what I experienced while playing this game. So I am also an acquisition channel for the game. So, that's how interesting it can get. The future, of course, is great. And in one of our leadership meetings recently, our CEO opened the conversation by asking that how many of you have used AI in last 3 days, in last 72 hours? Somebody said, I wanted to get a haircut for my daughter, so I used it. This is this platform. Somebody said, I wanted to plan a trip to XYZ place, so I used AI. And the reality of whole AI is, and there has been a lot of discussion where people say, oh, AI is going to take away jobs, there's going to be so much automation, you would not need agents anymore. My point is that, if, and that's a humble request to all people present in the room, that please adapt AI. A couple of years down the line, and we were recently, some time back, we were talking about Gen Zs, and, Shekhar spoke about Blinkit and 6 minute experience. If you're not living that life, I think you are anyways not going to evolve, not going to adapt. And there have been brands who got comfortable in the past and they crashed. So I think even in your personal life, you should use AI. In your professional life, and if you start using AI in your personal life, it will definitely reflect, and you would start getting ideas of how you can use AI in professional life. Unless you experience it, I don't think you will be able to utilize it. And designing conversational bots, and we've done a lot of intelligent stuff around it. If you ask the same question to our bot 10 times, every time they will give you a different response. The context and the answer would be the same, but how that is presented is different, so that the customer does not feel, hey man, what is happening to me? I'm getting the same response again and again.
Absolutely.
We have that integration at the back. So humble request to everybody that please start using AI, and even in your personal lives, use it. You have no idea how you can simplify your life, and how you can, you'll start getting ideas in your head that how you can use it in your professional lives as well. So don't run away, please accept it.
And it makes us very efficient and very quick. And if you people have team with you, right, you'll be much more painful for them. I'll tell you off lately, I try these, bots, rather tools, right, chat GPTs and etc. every day, right? And it helps me do proper research as well. So sometimes I'm actually troubling my team when they are not having data. I said, hey, excuse me, you can get this data very quickly. Here is it what it is. And I can crisscross and ask some very difficult questions, which which I am getting more insights through these kind of smart tools. And my team is also getting furthermore challenged. I think we'll be able to learn and explore ourselves more than what we have already done. Yeah. With that, I'll conclude. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anjali, Jay, Krishma. Open to all of you. Do you have any questions for any of us?
Circles around a lot. So basically, my question is basically, what do you think, how much time the chatbot will take to, from initial stage to more experienced stage where they will be able to understand customer context in a much better way? How much period do you think that it will take?
So if I just give my view and then my friends can actually add on, I think the answer is within your question, to be very honest, and I've been saying about it, chatbot is another tool. it can be designed to really solve the problem perfectly. It is that we, most of the time, right, and my friend was asking that question, we want to use technology for the sake of using it without even thinking, right, and figuring out what are the possible questions and answers should be, and everybody went ahead and started using, okay, I need bot, right, and that's where it fails. And to be honest, I had similar frustration a couple of days ago. I was like, this is a stupid bot, get out of it. I need humans to talk to me. And every time, I can't name the bank, I was connected to a stupid bot. I had a simple question, took me 4 or 5 hours to get a resolution. So the answer is, as good as you design a bot, don't design from a technology hat, design from a CX hat, right? Understand persona, design your things appropriately, that you asked right question, you have done enough research, ask question why 5 times, then you will have a solution.
So let me add to it. Definitely chatbots are frustrating. Let me start from there. But does chatbot have to be same for all the customers who is coming to my platform? Okay, that's an important question to ask. We are asking about personas, right? We have, and I'll go back to the data. We have the past history. Is this customer supposed to go via this level 1, level 2? You know, as you're saying that it keeps on repeating, right? So which customer, we just want to show this level 1, right? You ask a question, there's an answer. You said, no, I did not understand this. Do I want this customer to again go into that loop and keep giving this 2 more answers? Or would I say, you know, Krishma will come. Krishma is always very frustrated. Let me just say L1 and then connect to the agent, right? And then possibly Anjali is a very happy customer and Anjali understands the chatbot and just gives me a thumbs up right there. So let me just try to go, you know, level 2 answer, level 3 answer, and say, oh, see if Anjali is satisfied. Or after that, connect to the human interaction, right? So that's on going to the first keynote speaker that said that customer experience is not a support function anymore, it's a strategy, right? So let's strategize better. So for that chatbot to be useful and functional for us, let's just strategize what do we want to do with that data, what do we want to do with the customer, and where is that interaction needed where chatbot doesn't become frustrated. So that's what my view over here would be.
Thank you so much, Krishma. You said one thing very interesting, and going back to Nidhi, what you asked, right, and I think few minutes ago, there is another problem, sir, which is when you ask a question to a chatbot, right, that language is so programmed, right, it based on those keywords. And every time you have a simple problem, you will get the same answer back. Because while we are writing that content, we have not used artificial intelligence and more data mining hasn't been done appropriately. That you understand those, you know, see, ultimately user has to give some keywords, right? Your system is restricted with those specific keywords only. So you cannot do permutation combination, and hence the frustration comes in, right? So going back to my friend Jay, I think it has to be programmed so well that you use keywords, you widen the range of a keyword. Otherwise, it's just, you say yes and you have the answer, no.
Most of the interactions now firstly comes with chatbot. So my question to technology guy is basically, how long do you think that chatbots can be, they will take to get experience and trained in Indian context so that they are helpful to
Correct. I have an Indian client also. I'm so sorry, Nidhi. I'll just answer that in 30 seconds. We do have Indian clients as well, especially in the banking industry. They are also evolving. They are changing. So that's, you know, today, earlier we used to have chief technology officer, COO and CFOs and so forth. Today we have chief strategy officers as well. So we need to ensure that they have enough budget and they have good team aligned to focus on this, because if you don't have budget, you have aspiration, you don't get anywhere, right? That's it.
I want to add one thing to that. So I don't think it is related to any industry. I will tell you my experience. There was a bank. I got an IVR call from that bank. The opening was so interesting that I did not disconnect. I kind of felt it is a bot till the end of the conversation. I was confused that whether it is a bot or not. So it is not about any industry. In any product you see building a bridge or creating a cold drink or anything, you know, you would see different brands who have different intelligence in doing something. When when a formula is out in the market and it is very common, I think everybody starts doing it correctly. But when something is new, I think people who spend their time and effort and intelligence and they learn, I think those are the people who are delivering it right. ऐसा नहीं है that people are not doing it right. There are a lot of banks also. What a beautiful conversational bot I spoke with the other day. So, you know, not industry specific, and again, there would be a learning curve for everybody, but I feel that a lot of people still have cracked it, you know, and they're doing it beautifully.
Yes. Thank you to our panelists and everyone who's engaging. We'll take most of the rest of the questions outside on 101. And further, thank you to all our panelists. Thank you for being here. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Ashish Anand from Birla Nest, CK Birla Group, to please felicitate our wonderful panelists. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.